Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, I haven't gotten much done on the Miata, but I have a good reason for that. I've been kind of waiting and holding it off. I did get the roll bar fully mounted, carpet back in, took a lot of cutting. There's like sheet metal panels under this. There's sheet metal under it and then a panel that goes over it and then the carpet and plastic and blah, blah, blah. So much stuff. Got that mounted, screwed in, bolted in. I don't know if you guys, you probably can't see anything under there, but it's mounted in three bolts here. Was it one here? Four and four. It's 8 bolts on each side. So 16 bolts holding this thing in. Grade 8 bolts bolted in fabulously. So I got that done. I vacuumed it out, got the seats back in it. The seats are filthy and need to be cleaned. They need to be tightened too. I just stuck them in so I could move it out in and out of the garage. I was doing some stuff. You might notice that there's some boards underneath it. And there's reason for that. Because this Miata is very low. And what it's sitting now, it's sitting on, you see these little yellow bars? They're for a hoist. Or a mid-rise scissor lift that I got. So I will show you guys. Here's the power pack for it. Just plugs into 110 over there. Reservoir full of ATF. That's the motor. And this handle also works as a little a towing jig or a lever to move the hoist around itself. So yeah, the reason I built these lumber stands or ramps on the side of it is because the car is too low. The hoist itself sticks up about 5 inches, or I think it's 4 3/4 or something, and I just don't have the clearance. A lot of cars don't have the clearance. My wife's Honda fit on it perfectly. I changed her winter tires on it today. Most cars will fit. This one won't. It needs the ramps. So it also came with these raised lifting points for, if you're lifting SUVs or pickup trucks. It's got a 6,000 pound weight limit. I don't know. That's what's what. So this is the lift button. This is the lowering. Just push that down to lower it. This is your fluid reservoir. That's kind of loose. Yeah, like I said, it does have, you can take this off of the handle and bolt it to a wall for more permanent installation, which I might do. I haven't decided where it's going to sit, but for now, it fits right in there. I don't use that old stick welder very often, so when I do need it, I can just pull this out. It's on wheels. And there we go. So I do have the lifting points lined up. They should be. We'll give it a little lift here. Push the button there. Alright, I just moved you guys over so you can see it going up. Now, it has 3 locking points. So it's sturdy as can be. Anybody's worried about the scissor lifts, it's perfectly stable. I mean, there's no fear of this thing tipping or falling or anything. It works fabulous. One of the best things I've ever bought for the garage. There it is there. It's a Danmar 6,000 something. I'll put a link to what it is below. Works great. It has 2 hydraulic cylinders, a lock, auto lock, a 3-position lock, so it locks itself up, and then you flip a little thing down to unlock it and lower it. I don't know if we're as high as we can go. Let's see if we can go a little better. The thing is here, I don't know if you guys can see. Hold up, let me get over here. See what I'm doing. You see, one of the things right now is I've got it kind of almost centered in the garage, and that's where my opener is with the light cover hanging open there. Probably not an issue with this car. Anything else though, it's going to be over to that side or over to this side. It'll either be over that way or this way, so that's off to the side. This is a 2-car garage. It's a fairly wide 2-car garage. It's 26 wide, 26 feet. So I'll be able to go up in between these garage door tracks. Hold on, let me see. See the garage door tracks there and there. And I should be able to just rise up, and I've got 10-foot ceilings, so I should be able to go the maximum height here. Let's raise it up a little more, and then I'll take you underneath and show you how the locking mechanism works. All right, now I'll just take you off the tripod. Show you guys around a little bit here. Alrighty. There you go. So I mean, this is perfect for the home garage. It was fabulous for changing the tires on my wife's car. It's going to be perfect for body work. As you can see, she's a little bit rotten here. Now the other side I did while it was on the ground, and I still got to finish welding it. In fact, I left it because I knew I was getting this. So this part isn't even, it's just kind of sitting there right now, clamped in. But I patched all the inside. It's just plastic. And yeah, so it'll be so much easier to get everything fit properly and welded up on here. And you know, I still got to sand this. This is solid rust free. You see this black here? This is Pour 15 that I got on there. I had to, behind the new fender is the inner part that was all rusted out, and I have a whole bunch of sheet metal that I just cut some pieces out, bent them to fit, welded them in, and bingo bongo. Had to do the same thing on the front here. There you go, and you can see again some more Pour 15. It's great stuff. And so I'll have to do the same thing to this. I will cut this likely, you know, right at the seam there, and then along here. And however far, I would normally leave the wheel well, but this one's got some rust. And I have the whole panel, so I'm just going to replace. And it's not rusted through, but I'd rather cut it out. So I'll probably cut it like that and all along there. And I will use my new Ryobi cutting tool. So yeah, so once I cut that off, I will patch up the inner panel. This thankfully isn't too bad. I don't need a light so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about here. So yeah, see, the inner part isn't bad. But yeah, there you go. There's a perfect example of why I'm replacing the whole thing. And so then I'll get that welded on. That panel's laying over there on the ground, see? And it'll be so much easier up here. I can just roll my stool around and do everything sitting down. And see, it lifts up on the pinch welds or wherever you can lift on the frame if you have a full framed car. I mean, this would just be great for doing exhaust work. There's my muffler. You can get to everything. Axle, I could swap the axles out if need be. Suspension work. Oil changes without having to crawl around on the ground. Oh, still has the skid plate on it. Yeah, so just a multitude of things. It'll just make everything so much easier. I'm not getting any younger, and my back and knees aren't the best. Oh, I'll show you the lock, how it works. Right here, see this tab? When that's flipped up, it'll lock itself. It self-locks as it clicks by. It's spring-loaded, the latch. You flip that down, and it'll allow you to lower it. So let's give her a try here. The lowering thing is this lever right here. I'll just... There it goes. It goes fairly quick with a car on it. It takes a while to drop without a car. There we go. Back up, not quite all the way down. There you go. So there we go. It's back on the ground and you can just drive it right off. I just made these little ramps out of 3 2x10s I took. Would have been 4 and I would have just doubled them, but with the price of lumber, you can see I just staggered the braces, saved myself a bit of money. These were like $30 a piece for a 2x10x10. I think that's what I did, 2x10x10. Yeah, sounds about right. So yeah, I just got 3 of them and cut them to fit. Staggered them a bit so there's a bit of a ramp here. What I'm going to do at the end here is is put a stop block so you know when to stop. It's not bad when you got somebody to help guide you, but when you're by yourself, it's a bit, I don't want to come rolling right off the end. But in case I do roll off the end, I've got it also staggered, so it's a slight ramp, easy to get on and off of. So yeah, don't know what else to say. I got it used. They sell new here in Canada for, I think Princess Auto has them for $2,900. They occasionally go on sale for $25. This one, the guy wanted $1,200 for it, which I gave him. I didn't haggle at all. I saw the ad at about 11 o'clock at night on Wednesday or Tuesday or Thursday, one of those days that ends in a Y. And I replied to him right away, said, I'll take it. No questions asked, I'll take it. And he actually got back to me right away. Or no, he didn't. It was 2 hours later he got back to me and said, sorry I took so long to get back to you. I'm at a family dinner. He said, I've gotten hundreds of emails about it, but you were the first, so I'll get back to you later when I'm done with my dinner. So, and he did. And he sent me a video of it working because he wanted to make sure I'd take it. And yeah, he sent me a video. Everything worked good. So I said, absolutely, I'll take it. He said, I can deliver it for an extra $100. I'm like, oh, yeah. This thing weighs 1,000 pounds. So, I mean, I could have went with my truck and picked it up, but unloading it here would have been a bitch. Even with, he said he had 4 strong guys and they tried to load it and they couldn't. He had to rent a portable engine crane, like a shop crane thing, to get it in and out of his truck. And so, yeah, he showed up here on Saturday at about noon. We took the engine crane out of the back of his truck, set it up, unloaded it, and that was it. Everything works perfectly. No complaints. He says he has some ramps. He was going to give me some, but I couldn't wait. He said he was going to bring them by next week, but I've already used it a couple times. I've had this up. I did my wife's car. It's just a godsend, really. I mean, I shouldn't complain because a lot of guys don't even have a garage. And, I've got a nice heated paved garage with lots of room and all the tools I could want. But the lift makes everything so much easier than dragging out that and doing one wheel at a time, using, jack stands. I get jack stands there, jack stands there, jack stands everywhere. So now I can just drive up. And once I get a stop here, it'll be a lot easier to do solo and just drive up, hit the button. Up it goes. Just as they say, game changer. You can lift it to any height. The guy I bought it from, though, did say, make sure that the latch is locking, because he was under there doing some work on his wife's car, and he was underneath it. And he said he turned around and looked, and he noticed it was a lot lower than it was last time he looked. And one of the reasons was he had managed to loosen up. I don't know if you can see down there. There's a gauge right there. The gauge had came loose and it was losing hydraulic pressure, so it started slowly lowering while he was under there. I have no intention of ever getting underneath it without it being fully locked. But so there you go. I mean, it's a perfectly safe thing. Like I said, this thing is, I can push my body against it and rock, and it's not going anywhere. This thing is stable. The lift itself is easily 1,000 pounds. I'm not sure exactly how much it weighs, but I'm going to say 1,000 because it was a mother getting this thing out of his truck and set up. And it has kind of steel rollers on this side. You see them? So you can position it. It's not terrible. One guy can move it if he has to. Once I've got it in place where I want it, it's staying. It's not moving anywhere. So there you go. I don't know, any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. I honestly, like I say, I've just got this, but I wish I'd have bought one sooner. It's just so awesome to be able to just lift your car up and have access to everything underneath. The only thing I wouldn't probably want to do is, like, say, a transmission in a rear-wheel drive car like this one might be. I've heard it can be done, but it's a bit of a pain in the butt, I'd imagine. But you can access, pretty much anything from here forward and here back. So, like I said, gas tank, shocks, exhaust, rear end, all that stuff in the rear. And in the front, oil changes, front end, suspension, anything you need to do underneath. Change an oil pan, I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of stuff that will come in handy for it. Flick that off. So yeah, that's it. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. I don't know a whole lot about it. There's the power pack. And let's say it's portable. You can put it anywhere you want. And I just got it out of the way. I'd like to get one of those little covers that goes over wires, kind of a ramped cover, so it doesn't get tripped on. It's not bad. It sits flat, but I'm more worried about someone else in the garage tripping over it, you know, forgetting it's there. I try not to leave things to trip over as I pan across the air hose all over the place. So yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and this video is getting a bit long, so I'll let you guys go and talk to you in the next video. Take care.